Hello and welcome to another episode of MMOFTW here on MMORPG.com. I'm your host, Bill Murphy, and this is the week that was in MMO news. A lot of stuff happened this week, so let's get right to it with some Guild Wars 2 news. ArenaNet revealed the first details about Living Season 3, and that is coming up on July 26th, the first episode of which will be launching that date. Players will be able to pick up the story from the point where Heart of Thorns ended, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you actually have to complete all of Heart of Thorns before you can play it. There will even be some sort of recap functionality, so if you say you decide that, okay, well this Living Season is finally where I want to pick up Heart of Thorns, and I haven't bought it yet. You could buy it, get your character to level 80 with the free level 80 upgrade, and start playing the Living Season 3. There are rumors that a brand new area is going to be involved, a whole bunch of new stuff is coming to it, and these new episodes are supposed to come only every 2 to 3 months from now on, with the idea, ArenaNet says, making them much more beefy, much more involved, and giving players a lot more content to chew on for the time in between the major updates. So we'll see. We actually have a playthrough scheduled with ArenaNet in the next few days, and of course it'll be embargoed probably until the release date of the Living Story Season 3, Episode 1. So once that happens, we'll be right here to tell you what we think of it so far, and we just hope that we don't have to do any more rating because we are terrible at that. And in some Trove news from Tryon Worlds, they announced this week that Trove will be heading to both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One later in 2016. The announcement comes alongside the game's first anniversary celebration that is packed with promotions, parties, activities, and prizes. Now, I don't know about you, but if there is an MMORPG out there that is very custom suited to consoles and the console crowd, it is Trove. The same way that Minecraft worked wonderfully over there, Trove is going to probably do gangbusters. It is such a fun game that managed to turn into a full-on MMORPG, all the way back from its humble beginnings as just a dungeon crawler and a builder. Really a lot of cool stuff. I think it'll be very well received on the consoles, that's for sure. And going on to World of Warcraft news, not only are the Demon Invasions coming to launch in mid-August, which will lead up to the Legion expansion, but we finally have news that on July 19th, that's right, in just 2 days, World of Warcraft will see the pre-expansion patch for Legion, which will bring all the changes to the new classes. You know, you'll have your melee hunters, you'll have your, what do they call that, the rogue, the pirate kind of rogue. His name's escaping me right now, of course, I don't have it at hand, but all the changes are coming up to these classes, so you'll be able to try the new survival melee hunters and stuff like that. It'll be really, really cool. Give you a lot of stuff to play and deal with and toy with before the expansion launches at the end of August. So that'll be nice. And moving right along, how about Pokemon Go news? Can we talk about Pokemon Go as an MMO? I'm going to go ahead and talk about Pokemon Go as an MMO because even Raph Koster calls this one of the largest MMOs in the world. If you are familiar with Ingress, which was launched by Niantic about 4 or 5 years ago for mobile phones, that's essentially what Pokemon Go is. In fact, Niantic used the data sets that they learned, that they gained with Google and Ingress and put them all together to make this Pokemon game. Pokemon Go is basically Ingress with a Pokemon skin on top of it and fewer features, and yet that hasn't stopped it from becoming the largest, most downloaded game app in US history. It has passed Twitter in daily active users. It has passed Snapchat, I think, already. This thing is an absolute phenomenon, and what better example of an MMO is there than a game where hundreds of people get out of their cars in the middle of Central Park to chase after a Vaporeon and that spawns randomly, and people are taking factions. It's actually got 3 faction PvP, if only it was actually direct PvP. Our own review of the game is up over on the website. It is not, to be perfectly honest, Pokemon Go is not much of a game right now. It's not very good, it's not very stable. There's not a whole lot to do in it besides walk around, talk to people, and collect Pokemon. The combat sucks, the territory control doesn't really work that well, and the servers aren't stable, but for some reason, for whatever reason, this thing is capturing the hearts and minds of absolute millions. Myself and my wife, a non-gamer person, included. So that's pretty cool. And last but not least, we also learned this weekend that the next expansion for Star Wars The Old Republic is coming in fall of 2016, and the 5th anniversary has arrived in SWTOR. The next expansion is being called Knights of the Eternal Throne. We are getting some time with the developers at the United Kingdom, I think England, London, I'm not sure where it's happening. They're having a Cantina tour stop there. We're talking to them, we're getting some interviews, some details about what this expansion will bring and how it's supposed to change the game this time. Hopefully it'll be a little better received than Knights of the Fallen Empire in terms of multiplayer capacity. You know, maybe it'll focus more on the MMO aspects and a little less on just story. But we'll see. We'll have more details for you soon, and we'll keep you posted. That'll do it for this week, folks. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, everywhere. You know, anywhere that you can find us, we're there. At MMORPG.com without the dot. As always, don't let a bad pug get you down. I'm Bill Murphy. Have a great one.
Make sure to level up your MMO knowledge by visiting MMORPG.com, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and by following us on social media. To catch up on the week's biggest MMO news, watch our latest MMOFTW. And to see if there's a better MMO out there for you, watch one of our latest First Impressions videos. Thanks for watching.